So here is the 11 by BBS Bamba 5 in the sandstone colorway. When it comes to popularity of the 11 by BBS models, I think the Bamba 5s and the Bamba 2s are the most popular by far. If you're scrolling through Instagram or Grailed or seeing what the people are actually buying, they're definitely buying more of the Bamba 2s and the Bamba 5s. I'm going to flip over the camera just to show you more details of the shoe. So here is the Bamba 5. If you're a fan of Solomon, I'm sure this reminds you a lot of just the mainline XT6s. And I'm fairly sure it's identical to the XT6s. The only difference, I believe, is these plastic parts. I don't know if you can see that light's reflecting. But these plastic parts here, just the upper decal, I think is the main difference between the XT6s and the Bamba 5. The shape and everything else looks identical. The outsole, I believe, is exactly the same. I actually don't own a pair of the Bamba or the XT6s, but just seeing the pictures, they look exactly the same. The only difference being just the upper, because the outsole is exactly the same for sure. But yeah, anyway, the main focus of the 11 by BBS collection being this object dye method that Boris uses. It's just shown so beautifully on the sneaker as well. It's like a sandstone-ish colorway, light brown, I'd say. You can see how they place these plastic parts very strategically. So when a dye does come in, the dye sticks. The dye sticks better on these plastic parts and not so much on the fabric. So it gives these really good contrasts between the lighter side and the darker side where the dye's stuck. As you can see there, like that's really dark here, that's a little bit lighter here. And yeah, I just love seeing the imperfections of the dye because that's the whole point you buy these Bamba sneakers is the object dyeing process. Um, but yeah, you can just see there it's really beautiful. And then especially on the outsole, I love seeing how, here we go, how like the dye seeped behind the plastic, um, like torsion plate, I guess they would say that this is. So it goes, the dye went behind it. So it darkens some parts behind the plastic and it's just really stuck really well. It's like these parts are darker. Let's see. Yeah, like here where it went behind it. And it just looks really good on this plastic outsole part. Um, it really gives you a unique, just very unique colorway of the sneaker when each pair is very different with its unique dye settling process. But yeah, outsole here. But yeah, I think only way you would know this wasn't um, an XT6 is that there's branding here on the tongue. You can see that. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it just says 11 by BBS Solomon Bamba 5 on the tongue here. I think on the XT6s, depends on the XT6, I think, but they're either all black or they have like the red and blue gradient on this part of the tongue. And then at the toe box area where there's just the 11 logo, which is also very beautifully dyed around the edges, so it contrasts really well and really pops out. If you ever see the white pair of the Bamba 5s, which I believe all of the dyed pairs are just the white pairs, and then they just been dyed, obviously. But yeah, if you see the white pairs, you'll see, it's very bland. There's not as much contrast like out on the logos or any of the plastic parts like this, because that's all the work that the dye did, and it's not something inherent to the shoe. It's just something that the dye added to the sneaker. But yeah, The dye job on here, fantastic, of course. If you had to pick between the white pair or dyed pair, I'd say just definitely get the dyed pair, even if it's, costs a little bit more. If not, you can just try getting the white pair and then dyeing it yourself. Um, I talked about it on other shoes, but I have tried dyeing some of the Bombas, and it's really hard to replicate exactly how Boris did it. It still baffles me like how perfect he did it. Because you'll see on the other shoes that I tried dyeing, it's not as spotchy. It's way too uniform, or it's just the vibrancy is just not there. It's just crazy how they're able to accomplish such an advanced dyeing method. I would really like to know how they did it, but yeah, that's definitely why you're getting these Bomba sneakers is for this dye method. Definitely at a premium just for the dye method, but yeah, here's the Bomba 5s. Beautiful shoe. Definitely the most popular ones out of the entire collection. But yeah, here they are. Bomba 5s. Go true to size. Beautiful shoe.